We are in front of a 911 GT3 RS, which is very interestingly, extremely popular in the Philippines, way more than other places. It is the highest level of 911-ness, pretty much. What you would have here normally would be someplace to put storage. You don't have that here because it needs to use a lot more of this space for cooling. So if you pop this open, you have no more trunk, front, whatever. You've just got huge radiators. You need a lot of air to go into the car for cooling, but you also need a lot of air going around the car for traction. That is where this comes in. That is where this comes in. That is where this comes in. That's really where that comes in. That big, huge wing actually generates almost like 1,000 pounds of downforce at the right speed. It also adjusts. So for corners, you kind of want a bit more downforce, but for straights, if you're doing like just straight runs, you don't really want that downforce, so you don't need it. What I really like doing is explaining to people what this is. And this is the door handle for a 911 GT3 RS. And it's that way because they don't want any other weight there. So this whole car is built to be as track-posted as possible. These cars are already pretty hardcore. This one's the YSAC package, which means you've got carbon fiber. You've got carbon fiber on the roll bar, which normally would not be. This is a combination of what you love about Porsche historically and what is needed for a modern race car. It curves this way, so you've got a stacking of different levels for information. I'm very clear on what I have to do if I want to adjust certain things, if I want to move certain things around, if I want to change drive mode. It's all very clearly organized, so I know exactly what I need to do. With the 911 GT3 RSs, so these are not calm. This is what you want when you want to get the very, very top. What is happening here is that Porsche has taken generations of racetrack experience and used it to make this road car that is ready to go on the track if you wanted to, with a lot of little details. They've dropped the weight like crazy. They've changed the front suspension almost completely so that it's much, much more responsive. You've got aero working where it normally wouldn't before because you're dividing this line here, so that breaks it up. That also aims it exactly where it needs to be. They've worked on the cooling and they've worked on the power, all for a car that is basically a rear-wheel drive rocket. So this is why when we look at the whole 911 world, the 911 GT3 RS is about the most insane you're gonna get, and in many ways will surpass what is actually raced on the track.